this is Deepali, also known as Deecee. Here we are with the best of content creators of Ahmedabad. Here I want all of them to introduce themselves and take it ahead.
Hi, this is Sahiba and I'm an apparel designer and yes, now an influencer as well.
Hi, I'm Vriddha Agrawal, CA by profession and fashion stylist by passion.
Hi, I'm Hina Somani. I'm an image consultant, a content creator and an entrepreneur.
Hi, I'm Isha. I am a corporate behavioral trainer and an academician by profession. But I'm more popularly known for my love for food. I have founded this community called Foodaholics, and we write and create content around food, and which is what makes me a part of this table today. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Ruju Desai. I'm a fitness expert, performer, dancer, and now an influencer as well. And I'm so happy that you have invited me for the show.
Hi, I'm RJ Harsh. I do evening shows for Mirchi Love 104. I think the best part is my show name, जो मुझे बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है. That's Chai and Chill.
So starting with the questions, I would want to start first with Hina. How was it for you at that time that, you know, there's content creation happening? How are people coming to you and how did you stay so fearless about it?
I used to study in Singapore and I'd read a lot about blogs and I used to watch these YouTube videos. And so I'm a certified image consultant. So when I was doing the course, I was offered to now teach my students. And the data was extremely outdated that we were teaching them. The theory was extremely outdated. It was from the 70s. And I almost, for example, people would be like, people who have a heavy bottom can't wear printed pants. And I said, this doesn't make sense. I need new content that I can show to people because this doesn't make sense anymore. And my purpose to do this was that I wanted to spread that word out in the world that, you know, this is also a field that exists because I was so interested in it. And I knew the concept of YouTube videos. So for me, YouTube was the beginning, YouTube and WordPress as a blog. When bloggers used to be, then you needed a website. It's not like you just had to make an Instagram account and you're something. It was a very hard process. So that's how the beginning journey was.
But then what was the basic idea? I mean, you must be feeling, a lot of people would have approached you as well saying that what are you up to when you were doing. So what would be your reaction at that time and what would you tell them कि देख लेना आगे चल के तुम भी यहीं आओगे.
Let's be honest, in that moment you self-doubt. It's fancy to now be like, because it's for anybody, right? When you look back, you're like, oh, you did something. But when you're in the moment, you're doubting yourself.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm telling you, when I came back from Singapore, I was crying every single night and I was like blaming my parents. You didn't let me go to another city. This is not fair. You put me in this jail. Nobody knows anything. And no, actually, there was no store. I think the only place you could buy decent clothes was European catalog at that point. Like I'm talking about that. Absolutely. 2012. There's not a single brand existed here. There was not a decent mall for that matter.
How long you been in this field?
Almost 10.
Is it because of you all the brands have come here?
Very well be a probability of that.
I'm sure. That she,
to her credit.
Yeah.
But to be honest, there are a lot of times that I see her videos, okay, we want to shoot something like this. And a lot of times that I have to actually copy her captions. And this is the way she writes. So neat and clean. Everything is so perfect.
Absolutely. Coming to you, Sahiba, for you, content creation was an accident or it was just a part of the plan?
An accident. Clearly an accident. And you know about it.
No, but I want people to know.
This is the first time someone approached me to do any form of content creation for them was a jewelry brand for the first time, and I was so shocked. And the person who approached me, I'm like, "Are you serious? You want me? Like, I don't think I can do this for you." And she's like, "No, I think you can do it, and the brand is asking for you. So come, give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it's all right." And I don't know what happened to me. I went there and they asked me to talk and I went on and on and on, and the video turned out fab, and after that there was no looking back. And I think more than me thinking about it or more than me thinking that okay, this could be an additional career choice as well, people started approaching, and I would really like to credit all the people who thought I could do something and approached me to work with their brand, who take the credit for making me the influencer that I am.
How do you manage? Because there's a lot that's going on at the store.
I don't manage. It's like a mad place right now. I leave my home in the morning, and by the time I get back home at night, I don't know, like where my entire day has gone and if the entire to-do list has like a tick mark ahead of it or not. Nothing. Like, I'm so exhausted by the end of the day that I just crash.
Brinda, coming to you.
You know that I am a chartered accountant by profession. I think all of you know that. And there's nothing that I've ever studied in the fashion industry or ESA. But I remember that at a point of time, when I was in my college life, every single day somebody used to call me and ask me, can you please suggest me what should I wear, because you've been always wearing the right clothes or the right attire at the right occasion or whatever. And then it eventually got, that actually hit me, why not taking it as a profession? And so even while I was doing my CA, I remember very clearly I used to tell my dad, aapne mujhe galat field mein dal diya hai. I was never ever keen on accounts or maths or anything like that, but theek hai, go with the flow and something like that.
I'm talking about that, Ruju, I'm coming up to you. You've been in the industry since, I don't know, maybe 2 decades, 3 decades, but when did it all start for you? To creating content, मतलब वो जो एक होता है ना अंदर कि यार अब मुझे भी करना पड़ेगा तभी ब्रांड आगे बढ़ेगा. So when did it all begin for you? That कि realization कि यार now is the time that I'll have to do this.
I realized when it was during pandemic.
Yeah.
Until then, it was all like cakewalk. I was doing shows, I was taking classes, I was famous because of Ahmedabad Mirror and Radio Mirchi and all the events and marathons and whatnot. So I was always connected to public and public events before also.
Correct. Okay, Isha, talking about you, you've along with Rohan, you've built a whole community of food lovers, gotten all of them together basically.
It has been tangential. So Facebook was more about community. There was multilateral communication happening. Everyone was speaking to each other. The minute we shifted to Instagram, it turned out to be unilateral form of communication. So now we were talking singularly to people.
Correct.
And that added a lot of pressure. And very frankly speaking, we were not content creators. We were just people, like she very correctly said. I think you said, that it was a very tedious process. Like earlier on, to call yourself a blogger, you needed to have a website. But we saw the transition happening, like the thin line of differentiation between bloggers and content creators. We passed through the transition.
Correct.
Because we started in 2012, we are in 2022 now. Over the decade, we've seen the transition happening where people now create content instead of just putting. We were documenting our experiences. That is what we did. We continue to do that. We document our experiences with food, around food, with places,
Correct.
all of it.
Correct.
Right? So yes, of course, like every other platform, Instagram is also evolving. It is trying to become more more for its audience. And I think I have very few complaints as far as reels having taken over, but that's what people want right now. The nature of content creation has changed. Now people understand what they want from you. They come with a certain set of expectations. You're not starting from scratch.
Harsh, coming back to you, we've just, now that you don't have to actually feel the odd one out, because you are the one who will actually connect us well with your storytelling and how you've been doing it in your content.
Now that's why you're building pressure,
Oh yeah, but you guys are used to the pressure, I suppose. Does your profession, really limit the whole idea of content creation, that phase is something else and this phase is something else?
Not really. I believe it rather gives you the boost, because you got to talk every day. And I would want to give the credits to people who have taught me something. I remember one thing what Dwanit Bhai taught me like long back. It's whatever you talk on air, the moment the fader goes up, like we are not in this mood every day. We don't want to talk today, but we got to talk. And it comes very easily with us, because the moment the fader goes up and we switch on this button, I think it's now our subconscious mind that talks. Like, because you can't undo things. Like when it comes to reels, I think I still have the space to re-record it. But when it comes to radio, like going live, it's so important that you feed your brain with right things. So I think that's the beauty. And when you narrate, when you curate your thoughts well, it's very easy to just put it on your social media and just go ahead with it. So now coming back to the second part of the question, I think it was never about that one reel, to be very honest. It's always about the bank, I believe.
Correct.
Because one reel would only help you fetch some odd number of followers, but I think people it's not easy, I believe, for people to follow you, and it takes a lot of effort. Like,
Absolutely.
why would I really follow someone? Like, what am I getting out of it?
Correct.
So it was easier back then. It's not easy anymore, I believe. So it's a task. It's getting difficult for us, more difficult, I would say. But that's the beauty, actually, that you keep doing it. Like you can't perform there. You just got to be yourself and just keep doing it. So what I believe personally is never the overnight success that I've seen. It's never about that one reel. Of course, the one reel made people visit my page. That's the only thing that happened to my page. When they came to my page, they saw the reels and they felt, okay, like, you know, we might want to follow this, like this whole package and not only that one reel. So, but I think it's very easy for a jock to just put his thoughts or everything out there, because we do it almost every day. It's our job to do it every day. So
this is like a general question for all of you. How do you guys deal with number issues? that यार ये grow होना चाहिए, इस पे इतनी मेहनत की है, ये reel तो जाना चाहिए, मतलब you know अंदर से आता है कि यार ये इस पे तो there has to be some more extra love.
But it's not easy. Not every reel. It's not easy.
It is very hard to. Yeah, sorry, no, please.
No, please.
It's very hard to catch the pulse.
Yeah.
When we have made a mediocre reel, it has reached 3,300 like 3 lakh views. Right, and then we are like, okay, isme bahut mehnat karenge, we get the light and the camera and everything is in place, and just hardly bumps like 110k or something. Like, what guys, what happened? Tumko wo pasand aa raha? Like, you know, we just having a hypothetical conversation with these people. I'm like, kyun pasand nahi aaya? What went wrong? Right, so I think wo 1-2 reels ya 1-2 lack of reach ke baad we stopped giving to
lot of importance to them.
Maze karo, just create content.
Absolutely. You know, when you start trying too hard, you're not being true to yourself. And I think somewhere the audience can see.
That's what I'm saying. No, many times you're tempted to tilt to the trend.
I have done like 1 or 2 reels trend ke hisab se.
You are quiet.
Because she created the trend. With that Alia Bhatt reel. Oh my god, she created the trend.
Because this is a millions wo hota hai. So we are not that league, to be honest.
She's achieved the sense zone.
The numbers, no, but what I was thinking is that I have felt this, like I felt it honestly a little too early, because when what you just said, that you know, a random thing that I did would like hit like 7 million, 8 million, like literally I remember when I got married, I just because I was newly married and like, you know, romantic, I made a video with Yagna and went 8 million. I was like, this is like, how is this?
Let me call Rohan.
And then, like you said, there's so much effort you put and it doesn't do well. And sometimes even the effort ones do well. Like I put a lot of effort in the Alia Bhatt one. Like I know I woke up at 7 a.m. I ran to a store to get the lehenga. I did everything myself. I had like literally begged people, no, abhi ke abhi karna hai. And I was sleepy. I edited myself. Like, and it really paid off.
I have an interesting question on that. Is it good to have a profession before and then you start your journey as a content creator, or is it better to have content creation started and then have your entrepreneurship journey started?
I think I'm very happy with my profession and it's better that I was what I was doing and then I became an influencer, and it has helped me so much for my influencer work, or you know, my experiences are counting, and whatever I do as an influencer, it is still on the base of my fitness journey.
And the context I have, because she comes from 20 years of experience.
Absolutely.
As she just started doing calisthenic videos, people were like, "Tum kaun ho? Why am I listening to you?" Right, so you have to create something of yourself to be the, you know, game changer to people, or change their views. True. Sorry to butt in, but I really wanted to say that.
It's more about what you're better at. Like, say for instance, when we look at Hina, she's always been so fabulous with her content creation. So for her, it works out better that way, that, you know, she is a blogger and then she launched her label. Maybe for you and I, it would never work out that way, because I have seen people are generally just following me for more of my personal life and my label related work. And that's when they see that, okay, you know, she has like a decent styling sense, so then let's just go ahead and look at the brand collaboration she's doing. Maybe if I started off as just an influencer, I would be just another brick in the wall. So I believe more so it's about, you know, what you're good at, and that should be your primary profession more than anything else.
I want to talk to you about the haters, the trollers, The kind of people who come to slide into your DM, talk about your this content is bad, that content is bad. What do you guys believe in? That if the content is bad, they should be coming and telling you, or they should just praise you and tell you, or maybe they should just change their approach? I just want to know how do you deal with all this?
It's the way of approaching someone, I believe. I am okay with having criticism if it's like a soft blow.
Decent.
Yes. So I think I'd be okay with that because that's the only way I would know if I'm performing well or people are liking what I'm doing. In fact, all of my closest friends, they always criticize whatever I put up because they've been instructed to do so. That you have to find out one bad thing about my content and you have to tell me. You don't tell me that it's good. So I believe, you need those people to tell you, but I feel in a civilized manner. A lot of times I've seen people, just because they are hidden behind an Instagram profile, they've gone all out and, put comments on people's posts or, maybe in the DMs also. Like, luckily, touchwood, I have not received any hate DMs. But I know friends who've received such pathetic DMs from fake profiles.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I keep getting.
Who is this person and why is this person so troubled that they have to go and vent it out on someone? So I feel that's a different story, and giving constructive criticism to someone is
a different
Absolutely.
I think I personally, I believe it's very easy to understand whether the content is wrong or it's just the criticism. I just share my experience. So about my part card conversation. So basically it's like the camera is here and I talk to someone. And very few people, they realize that it's actually the other part of me that's talking to myself, right? So someone messaged, as in someone commented, I don't know, benga hai kya? Right? And I was just laughing because I know you don't understand what exactly it is.
Guys, feeling the idea of being stalked and stuff. Like, how many times are you in?
I've left I've left places I used to work out because I felt that, but not really stalk or anything. Uncomfortable because you're just constantly being judged as I don't know, a content creator or whatever.
Why do you look like an Instagram page? Why do you have your hair tied?
Not even that, for me, nothing like that, but people used to be so weird, the minute I would step out of messaging, or if I put up gym time, they'd be but something one of the days I had just come back after a few days, and that story they must have seen after 24 hours. But I said I don't want to go here. Am I being stalked?
I think sometimes even I face that people stalking me in a very different way. They're not happy that I am on a public platform now, and I don't know if they're not too happy with my content. That is also very annoying sometimes, I feel. Even if somebody's coming and just an acquaintance and coming say hi, but few lines are such baseless lines that I feel if I'm actually doing wrong, why is she coming and saying me like this ki tere paas aur kuch kaam nahi hai? And sometimes I've also received such comments in my life.
I hope you enjoyed the snacks and the tea break and the coffee break from Hyatt Regency. We love how. And all of this is not all of this is asli. You guys can have this as well. So coming to a question which is about money, how people pay, how brands pay. Is there any kind of bargain that's happening out there? Ki, अच्छा 30 क्या 20 में कर लो 20 क्या 10 में कर लो
it's every time
right? Also मेरे साथ तो now thing has started happening कि Hina and Saiba has so much followers and you don't have इतने followers, तुम क्यों charge कर रहे हो?
Why are you approaching them?
People are telling कि Hina followers are much
अपने मुंह पे अपनी बुराई करते खुद को अप्रोच करके
she's charging अरे बाबा, but again I'm like this is my price, आपको कराना है तो करो, otherwise please we'll figure out something someday otherwise. But every now and then bargain is the only thing that I am hating it to the core कि यार guys जो दिया give me that price, I'll give you the best content I can.
नहीं फिर क्या होता है कि पार्टी को तो इतना ही बजट अप्रूव हुआ है
ऐसा
there is a budget. There is a budget for sure.
साव पीनट तो ना हो
see, I'll tell you, it depends. I don't know the level of brand and what is the mindset, and also I think you have to understand the brand is not directly in touch with you.
Yeah.
There is a
True.
medium, like for example,
The
that
agencies,
agency.
yes.
And they are, I'm sorry if that hurts you, but they are doing the number game. That is where the number
That's
game
there.
is coming from.
The
They are
commission.
telling the
Yeah,
client
yeah.
whose potential is what,
Absolutely.
who can bring in the sales, and they cannot also false promise, because at the end of the day a brand wants conversions. मैंने आपको दे तो दिया पैसा, पर अगर वो मेरा return आपसे आता ही नहीं है, तो it's also a waste, right? So if you think it from a business perspective, it actually all does make a lot of sense.
I'm
your
not
market.
okay with people politely asking me when they say that, please, I don't have that kind of budget. If you could maybe, do
True.
like X
That
amount
is-
come
yes,
karke.
true.
That I
appreciate
agree. That I agree
And
also.
at times, I have been okay with it as well. And then there are times when I feel that, no, you're not right. I see you have that budget and, you're just...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
you
get
are
it.
coming
Understand
from.
my point.
Yeah.
This is my
So,
point.
but then, I also feel that if someone is politely asking for that,
Yeah.
I do not feel offended.
Yeah.
It is my right to say a yes or no, which they should have to be okay
And we do
with.
on friendly terms also, no?
Absolutely.
It's not always about money. It's
Yeah,
never
I'm
always
actually
about
coming
money.
to that
True.
point of the idea of collaboration. Like a lot of people talk about collaboration in a way that, अरे ये ऐसे ही कर दो, ये तो ऐसे ही हो जाएगा. I mean, how cool are you with the idea of collaboration in general?
Depends on the brand. Depends on the relationship I am sharing with the brand. And the third thing is how that brand relates to me. It's me also. I am the brand also. So it has to be win-win situation.
Correct.
I will not go for any brand. For that, say for relation also. It has to complement me and I have to be useful for
That's
them.
very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we've also handpicked all this while, since the
Yeah.
time we started doing collaborations. And we started doing paid collaborations only, because until then it was all, we were talking
Yeah.
about everything and everyone. And we owed that to our audience to make sure that even if it's a paid collaboration, it's a brand which people can lay their trust on. So if there is an ethical disconnect with the brand, no matter the amount of money we have been offered, we have politely declined collaborations because we don't want to be speaking about them. We've had this conversation before, right? So that is one thing that, so even people are still willing to watch and look at paid collaboration because they know it comes from due diligence, a place of due diligence. So we've gone through, like, we know what goes into that, creating that particular food, and hence we're promoting, right? We've recently started exploring this area of cross collaborations where it may not be necessarily a food brand, but we've done something with a car brand, we've done something with a fitness brand, and there we've sort of revised our fees just for them because it's a new sphere we're entering. So they already get like a very different kind of fees that hum bhi explore kar rahe. Let's see how it works, and people are enjoying it. So we'll gradually get somewhere else, but we have never left room for negotiation. That's what has worked for us, right? So we've stayed very firm on whatever we've quoted, because once you do it for one individual, the word spreads like wildfire, and then everyone expects it, and they're like, "Unka kiya, hamara."
Yes, yes.
So we never left a scope open for that. We've always said like, "ठीक है, if you don't have budgets, I appreciate that. Come back to us when you have better budgets or a different budgets, and we can accommodate then." You know, I'm sorry to say, but 500 रुपए में लोगों का story कर रहे हो, then people will treat you accordingly.
Yeah.
Like you have to start respecting your own sphere of work.
Exactly.
Unless, yeah. So
Very
otherwise,
true.
it's hard to command this.
I think तो मेरे syllabus का बाहर का है because I don't get to negotiate. But I think I would agree to what she's saying because मुझे सबसे difficult part वो लगता है that you have to create a content when you're collaborating with any brand. Because if for example I got my segments. And it's very easy for me to come up with some content.
Yeah.
But when someone, like, I can't say no to a real estate brand because Mirchi has sold it, sold a video to them. So I got to make sure कि मेरे segment में उसको मुझे fit करना है.
Yeah.
How do I do it? That's the most difficult task.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing for us on
Any content,
Instagram
yes.
as well, right? Or
Exactly.
any content that
Exactly.
the minute it is commercialized, now you're overthinking and pressurizing.
Yeah. How to make this entertaining?
And you know,
Exactly.
the only day you actually, I know the most conversions I've made is with the most organic content.
Yeah.
Like when I
Yeah.
randomly said, "Oh, I love this," and people have just bought it.
True.
But the minute you have this full-blown production video, it just doesn't cut it. And I recently, in fact, I'm telling you, 1 week back, I've had this huge conversation with a brand that this doesn't cut it. They came to my house with a team of like 8 people and like itna dhating
Tamjham.
and itna tamjham. And I knew it wouldn't do well. Like in my core, I knew.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was like, this is just not going to work.
Yeah.
But what you asked about collaborations and in our language, we call it barter.
But
Yeah.
I'm actually I mean, again, for me, it's like I've come to a space and time now where I'm very comfortable with what I do. And I've explored like the different aspects of it. So when initially everybody was like approaching me for barter, I didn't get it. But now that I would like to say that now that I've crossed that 100K mark, I get why. Because at that point, now even as a brand, I have the back end story, because I don't know if they can make me any sales or conversions. And that itself is a cost for me to even send them something. So I'm okay with it actually. I mean, for Rakhi, I'm having a brand collab that I'm doing for barter. I mean, even at so-called this level, I am doing it because I sometimes feel that it's not such a bad idea if you and the brand's ideologies match, and like what you said, if the style is the same, and if it's something that if you've been something already that you've been wearing, or something that you already have in your life as a lifestyle, like for example a skincare brand or a clothing, then why not? It kind of almost makes sense, right, to do it. So yeah, I'm open to it now. I mean, earlier there was a stage where nahi bilkul bhi nahi, meko pucho bhi mat, I'm getting angry, like how you're insulting me now that itna kaam hai. But it's okay now. What she said, that it is my personal choice, yes or no. They asked me, karna hai to karo, nahi karna hai to mat karo, move on. You already had your life going.
How nicely put. One last question and we get going for the high tea. The question is about, we just spoke about how personal content does really well.
Yes.
There are a lot of times that you would want to put up something and you're like, yaar, ye to dal dete hain, and then you realize, yaar, you can't put up something, and you can't be caught so raw out there.
I'm so into the business side of things that I know it is what drives business.
Correct.
So for me, it's pressure to put personal where I actually don't want to.
See, I was
like,
about to say
that's exactly it.
I'm now at that stage where I don't want to put up a photo of where I'm eating. I just want to enjoy that day. Like, I just want to have a me time, but I still have to tell that I'm having a me time.
Especially now because I have a son. There are a lot of new moms who are following me, and they want to know, okay, where am I chilling with my son, So that makes people, and that's how I get good number of followers. People asking me, where are you at this, what is this place? And then somebody else started following me, and because they got to know. So this is important for us to put actually.
To be honest, there are certain things that I have to post because I've signed up for that. Apart from that, I'm honestly very spontaneous. If it's a personal thing, I don't want to post. No one can make me post it ever. And if it's something personal and people think, why is she posting so much personal stuff? Honestly, I've not given thought to it. Honestly, din mein itna time nahi milta hai sochne ke liye with the other side of the profession as well. So, if I like something, I'll instantly post it and then forget about it. And if there's something that I have to give two thoughts to, I'd rather not post it.
True, very true. It's like that.
I think it works exactly opposite for me.
Yeah.
I remember putting a video saying that I've got white hair. तो मैं तो शुरुआत ही ऐसे करता हूँ कि मैं ऐसा ही हूँ ऐसा. I wear this shirt, it's very normal. Is that okay? So I think it gets easier for me to like not think about the content. And if I'm wearing a very good shirt, I'll be like, see, I look better now. So I don't know. मतलब मेरे लिए तो ये लगता है कि if you want to put something, put it. It's okay. Like it's so simple. Like do whatever you feel like.
And I think the people who are following you are also following you for that eventually.
Exactly.
They want to see the human side of you, which is not
I think you can sustain for long अगर आप first followers से यहाँ तक if you're doing the same thing. Like if you're you, when it gets very difficult for you to just perform.
Yeah, you can't keep showing only made up things.
Yeah. Exactly.
You have to be like original and organic in your thing, and that makes nice.
Are smart now. They know no one's life is perfect.
Absolutely.
I think opposite ना ज़्यादा अच्छे से काम करेगा पता है.
Because they can relate
made up
to you.
things अगर आप बाद में डालोगे ना, people will be like, oh wow, this is like
maybe,
routine is like, oh they want to see the routine, so that they can connect.
I disagree a little bit on
yeah, please actually.
No, because I mean, once you make it a business, it's very different. Because
Absolutely.
now because now I have I know because I have a guy who does analytics, I have a person who's doing strategy, I have a person who's analyzing everything. So once you go that deep into it, you realize that it's not that just simple that just post whatever you like.
One last question, because there are a lot of times that we are under the pressure of content performing well, having more followers. You know that urge that the fake followers are available that easily. How does it feel? Do you guys do you guys consider that option ever, that
No.
यार ले लें क्या थोड़े से fake followers?
To be honest, पता चल जाता है.
Yeah, absolutely. वो तो पता
चल
चल
जाता
जाता
है. And उसका कोई फायदा नहीं है. There is no benefit out of it.
So I've seen people with so many hundreds of Ks and they're not getting utna business.
There are 21 likes on the post.
Like, see, you come to the 100K league, but
I don't want to be in this world anymore.
People I see business followers there, but they're not getting business. Why? Because the agencies and the brands also see that this is bot followers and this is Instagram followers and this is going to get us returns.
Absolutely.
What is fake?
They aren't foolish either.
They know.
No, of course. Not about that. It's
fake
about
followers होता तो Deeceepaps में allowed नहीं होता ना. So we all so now you all can.
I also do the same. I actually go scroll when everybody's अरे उसके इतने followers हो गए. I'm like, let me just
Let me go to the reels
let me just see the
Yeah.
page hygiene and then let's talk.
So there are a lot of
And,
people. I'm like, I know I'm like the one जिसके सबसे least followers है, but I'm still here today, right? With the brand of your show.
Absolutely. It's about the content.
Quality work and what we are getting.
It's about
so we all know
yeah.
who has fake and who does.
No, but then you know,
You stand out with your quality, so it doesn't
I
matter.
think we are past that time where people were judged for their excellence based on the number of followers.
True.
I think people are judged more on, do you like what you're doing?
Yeah.
Is it coming from a place of security? Is it coming from a place of enjoyment? Then we would love to follow you. Right? Everyone's finding it very hard to get new followers, but I think we stopped at some point in time. It stops. The buck stops there. कि हो गया अभी जितने हैं उनके लिए करो. And तुम अपने लिए document करो. Like Saiba very correctly said, I want to get archival reminders that hey, 4 years ago when I was in Manhattan, this is what I was eating. And you know, that's I actually document all our experiences. Of course, for here and there we do brand associations because we want to feel, you know, charged up, do something new. But I think the buck stops there. After a certain point in time, you do not care. You care the ones who are already following you.
You keep saying that you have the least amount of followers, but I can vouch for it. If Brinda posts, it's the maximum conversion. As a business, she is going to bring conversion.
And trust me, a lot of Finstars following you. They may not follow you, but they periodically go to your page.
Absolutely.
I don't know why that entire community is like that. They don't want to follow you. They don't want to increase your sales, but they want to follow you.
You guys will hate me
We've
for
seen
this.
our captions being copy pasted. We've seen the style of our pictures being immediately copy pasted.
Same.
And I'm like, तो कर लो ना follow. कर लो ना follow. इतना तुम इतना blatantly सब कुछ कर रहे हो तो it's okay. Go ahead and tell. Let us know.
But like you said, it's a compliment.
I really want to talk about parties. Guys, what's happening? We're there everywhere. What every party, this,
What are you
that.
talking about?
What party?
What party?
Saiba doesn't get to say that.
Yeah, Saiba doesn't get to say that.
Hina and I'll be like, कौन सी parties? हमें कोई
I
नहीं
am
पता.
like, I'm out of it. I'm out of the social bubble.
Absolutely not.
So working hard. That's why you're not in
Yeah,
the party.
I'm out of the
Otherwise, you're
social
always in the
bubble.
party. You're
How do you
invited.
deal with this?
She's invited. She doesn't go maybe.
नहीं, I'm not invited only.
I don't deal with it. I'm like, ठीक है. I can't say no.
That I always
Tell
welcome.
me, how do you deal with invites and hampers? How are your houses so well made
So
that
I'll
you
tell
have
you.
so many jobs?
No, it's a secret. Ask Saiba. She has the maximum hampers coming on.
No, I
We
really want
finally
to
found
know
a
I
hack
think she
for
must be
it.
having one full house beside, not the
So
hampers.
Diwali time pe to my entire like big size dining table is full of hampers. And my parents are like, what do we do of this? So the problem is, I'll tell you what, you know, ek to me as a person, for me to say no to someone takes a lot of effort.
That's all. Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort. Like जब तक मुझे कुछ बहुत ही बुरा नहीं लगेगा ना, तब तक मैं ना नहीं बोल सकती हूँ. अब obviously कोई इतना sweetly बोल रहा है, I want to send you a hamper. Now how do I say no to that? Like what logical reasoning do I give them? So at times I don't open the messages if they are in my others folder. कि ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, मैंने तो देखा ही नहीं आपका message. Why? No, but then you know, a lot of times, most of the people who are sending me stuff are also people I've worked with in the past as clients.
Yeah, of course.
As you know, I am iska friend or iska sister or iska brother, and I want to send you, and then I get that दीदी वाला feeling कि okay, you know, startup है, मैं भी एक time पे थी, तो कोई बात नहीं, क्या पता, like,
पर अभी तो मेरे तो ऐसे आते हैं कि I don't have time to send you hamper. मैं फोटो भेज दूँ, आप what करोगे?
Are you serious? This has not happened to me.
This has not happened. I will leave.
Oh my God, yes,
She knows.
I'm
Serious
serious.
shocked.
This is
Can
never.
I send you the pictures? And I'm like, no, sorry. How can you even ask? I
said,
can't even insult them.
I said block. Just
my
block
God.
this.
They call me. They call me.
No,
like
I
that.
have had friends who'd call call me कि मैंने hamper तो खा लिया, अब photo भेजना. I'm like, bro, मैं क्या करूँ? And then my poor girl, she has to take pictures of the hamper on 3 different tables to send to all my friends.
Oh, like that.
That's a different struggle.
All right. So I just wanted to this one last question. I wanted to ask you, Harsh, because as an RJ, you also you have crazy following and all of this, and people would want to see you, meet you, as curious as everybody's fan following is. So how do you deal with it? Like, because they come to the radio station. So how do you basically deal with it when they also go, like Saiba did? Oh, expression hota hai ki haan, bas dekh liya. So how do you deal, and what exactly that comes when these kind of things happen?
So I'll tell you, people, I think they know कि hampers won't work for us because they have to come through Mirchi.
Yeah.
So when they were discussing, I was like, okay, I don't know how this works really.
Correct.
Because no one comes to me with hampers. They don't ask for shout outs or anything. But they do come down personally to the studio, and they want to meet.
Correct.
And it's very difficult for us as well to just randomly go and meet people. Because to be very honest, jitne extrovert radio pe utne introvert we're in personal lives, because for that 4 hours of time span, I think we're just like giving all our energy. So we're left with nothing. और वो 4 घंटे के बाद अगर कोई मिलने आता है, like please, like you know, yeah, good. But then we also understand the urge of them talking to us. So I'll tell you what, after one of my reels which went viral, I got almost like so many messages like they want to see, they want to talk. And I'm like, you know, I don't have answers to your questions. Like I'm just the voice, nothing else. So, but I would love if you want to come down to the studio. But what really happens is that people have started recognizing. So whenever I go out somewhere, they've been very polite, they've been very nice. Like if I'm having dinner or lunch, they're like, okay, finish it off, and they'll, can you just take a picture? Or I just want to talk about my life, can you just give me a minute? I was like, yeah, I get it. But then you got to draw that line where it's only about a minute, and you just don't interfere about like, but yeah, I think people have been very kind here, especially.
How nice.
So yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much everybody for being here, for talking so much to us, for sharing so much, oversharing at times. But then I'm only glad that you guys could speak well, you guys could just trust us so well and be here for us.
No,
thank you so much.
Because of you, we all could speak so much, because we are so comfortable with you since ages. And you have been a support pillar for all of us, I guess, since long time.
I'm only glad. Haath jod gaya mere se. It comes from inside, it just comes.
No. And you work so hard for everything.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. I really want you guys to have a good time with the high tea here. Thank you so much, Hyatt Regency, for the lovely venue and food and everything else. Thank you so much for everything here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.